Greetings all and welcome to Dave's Craft Room. I'm Dave, and on today's video we're gonna make a t-shirt memory quilt for my friend Lucas. Lucas has sent me this huge box, why did I even bring it up here, of t-shirts that he collected over the years of going to concerts. There are many. This is insane. Lucas has actually seen everybody, and he lives in a different city. So he mailed these to me. I don't know how many there are or what they are of. This is kind of a lot. I hope I can make this work. I'm excited. I have the honor of making this t-shirt quilt for Lucas. I hope I don't mess it up. I'm going back to my roots here. My very first quilt was a t-shirt quilt. I've made many other t-shirt quilts. I've made them for other people. I think this is my first time on the channel doing like a memory quilt. So that's excited. We're gonna start from beginning to end for the t-shirt quilt in the beginning. And so my first step is I'm gonna take stock and see what I even have. Where are the designs, on the front or the back? Step 2 is cut them out. So I just cut out a panel, the panel of the design, and put them all in a pile. Then I sew my iron-on interfacing on. So yeah, let's see what we even have. This will be there, and then we'll have this be some type of applique. Cool, so it's now gonna be time to cut them. All I'm doing is cutting. I'm keeping the most background as possible so that I have as much material to work with. You can always cut it down. Actually, that's a good rule to follow, but you can also always add on to it. I know they always say like, oh, don't cut it too small. You can always add on to it. But anyway, I'm still gonna just cut around here, cut around the sleeves, around there, and save the part of the t-shirt with the design on it, whether it's the front or the back or both. The rest of the t-shirt, the blank t-shirt jersey, set aside. So then I'll probably be ironing on the iron-on interfacing. As I'm cutting up these t-shirts, an idea came to me because most t-shirts from concerts will have like a list of dates and the cities from the tour on the back of it. So I reached out to Lucas and I asked him which city he saw the artists in, and I'm going to cut out that listing from the list of cities and dates and applique that onto the quilt top. I'm now ironing on my iron-on interfacing. For anyone that's unfamiliar, iron-on interfacing is a very, very thin type of fabric. Actually, they do have thick kinds of it available too, but I'm using a thin one that has tiny beads of glue on one side. And when you iron it onto the back of the t-shirt panel, the glue beads melt and it fuses to the material. It's not a very strong bond. It won't hold forever, but it will hold for as long as I'm working with it. I use this because t-shirt jersey is very stretchy and it can be annoying to work with. When you cut it, the edges curl up, and then because it's so stretchy in every direction, it's hard to get an accurate cut. So the interfacing makes it lay flat and stop stretching so much, and it's just so much easier to work with. Some people say that iron-on interfacing makes the quilt too stiff. I don't find that to be the case. I use a thin interfacing, and I also like to use 80-20 batting and a flannel backing, and I find that the batting and the backing are really bigger factors in making the quilt drapey, and 80-20 batting is good, or 100% cotton too, and flannel backing as well makes it drapier. But I always like to point out that a quilt hot off the presses is always a little bit stiffer than what it will ultimately become after using it and washing it. If you ever think a quilt is too stiff, just know that over time of using it, it will become softer. There's way too many t-shirts for me to do it this way. I need to do it this way. It'll be easy. All I have to do is put the blocks sideways, top here, bottom there. I'll have to pin the blocks up because they're heavy, which is why I have behind this batting is foam from the hardware store. I don't know what kind of foam. It's styrofoam, but I don't know what its original intention was meant to be, but it's like an inch thick, so that I can pin in. Because t-shirt blocks are heavier than regular blocks, they fall. Now I'm arranging my blocks, and this is where I plan what the quilt is going to look like. When I first started making t-shirt quilts, I would get out the graph paper and plan out the whole thing, and then measure and cut the blocks to exactly the size I would need. That's the way my mom taught me how to do it. I don't usually do that anymore because I prefer to plan it standing at the design wall with the blocks in front of me. I can move them around and see what looks good together, and I prefer doing it that way. I'm basically trying to fill up a rectangle by placing blocks of similar length or width side by side. These blocks generally have some wiggle room so that I can cut off up to a couple of inches if I need to without cutting through the design, and after I sew two together, that's when I trim them to make the lines perfectly straight. I had a comment asking me to show how I measured the blocks to make sure they're going to fit, and I don't usually measure them when I make a quilt like this. They fit because I sew them together and then I trim off the extra fabric. I don't ever cut through the design of the t-shirt. Instead, I would add fabric to the smaller piece. I have a few pieces of blank t-shirt jersey from the backs of the t-shirts that I interfaced, and I use that as filler like what I do around Beyonce. I know that this technique works because I've done it many, many times. I see like multiple paths before me because I could connect this to there and to here and then to this, or I could make this a panel. Yeah, that's the move. Make this a panel, this will be moved up and fastened to there, and then fastened onto there, and then this connect to there, and then all this will be a strip. That's the move. Oh, no, it's not. Connect this to here, this to here. That's the move. Way too big, this line. Ooh, I don't know if I can shrink it. I guess I can shrink it down. I'll try. Cause I want to piece this and this And sew this column onto here. And then sew all this together and piece it onto here. And that's the finish, that's how we finish it. So this needs to fit into there. I think I can do it. Alright, so this is the quilt, and I have an extra special surprise planned because Lukas is in town for work, and he's actually gonna come down tonight, and I'm gonna give him the quilt and unveil the quilt to him on video. This is the first time I'm doing this. I'm nervous because what if he hates it? But he's agreed to be in the video, so he's gonna be coming down soon. I just want to say that I didn't really coach Lukas about being on camera and everything, so he stands outside of the frame for most of it, but you'll get the idea. Okay, Lukas is here. I'm gonna go let him in. You just enter?
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the quilt.
Oh my gosh. Dude, it's beautiful. Dude, it's so good.
So these are like the places where you saw it, like that says San Antonio, Denver.
Dude, I love it. It's so much better than I expected it to be.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
I legitimately love it so much.
The back looks like this.
Oh my gosh, that's so fitting.
Black and red flannel.
Dude, so. It's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're gonna be very warm. It's a warm quilt.
That's so exciting. Thank you.
You've not been on camera at all.
Oh, really?
This is the camera.
Oh.
Stand over here.
Like, I feel bad because now they missed the entire thing.
No, that's fine. They'll hear the...
Okay. Dude, I love it. I've like legit been talking about this for years. I've been saving these panties for this exact thing, and it's so much better than I anticipated it to be. I'm not gonna this whole like YouTube thing.
That's fine.
It's so good though. Thank you so much.
Should we take it down?
You want to take it down already?
Well, you're gonna take it home.
I'm still marbling.
You can marble for the rest of your life. You're gonna take it.
Well, I hope it was like a fun project.
It was. You'll see the video.
Do I do shout outs?
To who?
My mom. I showed my mom your video.
Oh,
She
you
loves them.
can.
Hi, Mom.
That's it?
Yeah. I don't want to like give
You
away
want
her
to personalize the
information.
message?
No. Oh my goodness. I love it though. Thank you so much.
I'm glad you like it and you don't hate it. That would have been really embarrassing.
Dude, I've been like waiting for this for so long.
How long?
Since high school, so like 14 years.
Oh wow, you were a lot cooler than me in high school. I wasn't seeing concerts or anything.
That's all I did back in the day. I have like a ton more, so if you want to go for round two.
Holy crap!
That's all I used to do.
Were
was go
these
to
the
concerts.
best ones?
My favorites from like that era.
Okay. Machine wash and dry.
Thank you. I'm gonna sleep with it tonight.
Good. I told you it's gonna be very, very warm.
I'm so excited.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording.
Alright, that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and please come again.